So I'm going to be a little bit salty in this video. I should probably just warn you guys about that now. So this is not my first time recording this. This is unfortunately going to be a post-recorded episode because I have had the absolute worst luck with today with videos. My Advanced Adventures save file was deleted. My capture card for Mario Sunshine is not working. I recorded this video and the audio was completely distorted, and then my webcam software decides it's just not going to record anymore, and so I've had to uninstall that and reinstall that like 3 times. So I did want to keep this battle though because it is an episode of Wi-Fi Locke. It's the very first episode of Wi-Fi Locke, which is very fitting because the very first episode of last Wi-Fi Locke was also messed up and corrupted. But the way this series began was we randomly picked 10 Pokemon out of the 71 Pokemon I currently had imported into the game, and those Pokemon you can see on the screen right now were Whiscash, Scyther, Ivysaur, Wapuni, Mr. Mime, Levani, Roselia, Sceptile, Kingdra, and Zoroark. And we took those 6 of those Pokemon, who I believe we decided to bring Scyther, Wapuni, Mr. Mime, Kingdra, Zoroark, and Ivysaur with us for our first battle. And the reason I'm wearing this hat is very fitting because our very first opponent was my friend Katie, who was the first to answer us on Twitter. She was the creator of the Caterpie hat as well as the Caterpie plushie, so it just seemed kind of fitting to have a battle against her. And it was a very, very exciting battle, and I really did enjoy this battle, so hopefully once we get into it, which will be right about now, it'll actually be enjoyable for you guys to watch. And I was actually thinking when this battle ended, wow, maybe I should save this replay. Nah, why should I do that? A lot of mistakes were made, but as you can see, she brought with her a Leafeon, a Galvantula, a Kingdra, a Nidoking, a Zoroark, and a Lucario, so we actually brought 2 of the same Pokemon with us. Also, you can see the fancy new layout on the screen. I modified the old layout to show what Pokemon we brought. The numbers are how many kills they have overall, in case you're curious, because when a Pokemon gets 10 kills, we get a free token, so that's kind of cool. And you can see all the stuff down below. Like I said, I'm sorry if I'm really salty in this video. I've just had a very long, frustrating day. It's like 11 p.m. and I just want to go to sleep. But anyway, she leads off with a Leafeon. Unfortunately, I made a rather bad choice leading with my Dragoon, but I thought maybe I could get away with this, and I go with the Dragon Dance thinking, you know what, I could potentially get a sweep here because this thing can only hit me neutrally, and I have really good type coverage, so I can just kind of roll through a team. But she hits the Grass Whistle. Of all things, I really did not expect Grass Whistle Leafeon. That really caught me off guard. So I have no choice to switch out. I don't want to let this thing die, especially in a Nuzlocke format. I do have to be really careful, but I can go into Ivysaur, who 100% walls this thing. I actually didn't think about X-Scissor, which could have ended very badly, but luckily for me, she goes for the Leaf Blade and does absolutely nothing. I know she's forced to go out here because, once again, I wasn't thinking about X-Scissor, but luckily for me, she does switch out into Nidoking, as I decide I want to put my own Pokemon to sleep. As I go for the Sleep Powder, I admire how freaking cute Shiny Nidoking is. I love Shiny Nidoking so much. Don't be surprised if I drop that in the GBA, just because Shiny Nidoking is so amazing. But luckily for me, this thing does have its guaranteed turn to sleep, while I can set up some Leech Seed. This is the moment when it occurred to me, oh wait a minute, this thing normally carries Fire Blast and Ice Beam. Maybe it's not a good idea to stay in, because originally I actually was going to stay in, just go for Giga Drains and wall this thing, and then I remembered they often carry Fire and Ice type moves, and that's not exactly a good thing because I believe I'm Chlorophyll. Yeah, I can only make a Venusaur get Stick Fat. So I go back into Kingdra thinking, alright, one of us has to wake up here. This is a good chance for me trying to go for the Dragon Dance here again if I can manage to wake up, and if anything, we're at least getting Leech Seed damage off him. Unfortunately for me, she does decide to switch out into her Takaru, who is her own Kingdra, and we're in a bit of a stalemate here. Kingdra versus Kingdra. It's amazing how we both happen to bring 2 Pokemon, and my Pokemon were randomly selected, and I happen to bring 2 Pokemon that she would happen to use. Something that really caught me off guard is, as you saw, she actually went for Rain Dance here, showing she has Swift Swim Kingdra instead of Sniper Kingdra, which is very, very bad news for me, because she does go for Dragon Pulse here. I do live it, and I wake up, and I successfully get off a Dragon Dance, but this is bad because 1, she already naturally outsped me, 2, Swift Swim means even she's still gonna outspeed me even after the Dragon Dance. So unfortunately I have no option but to switch out here because I don't want to let Dragoon die because I really kind of like this thing. So I go into Mr. Mime knowing she's gonna go for another Dragon Pulse, and I have a Fairy type and I'm gonna eat that up, and I go for Charge Beam because I'm thinking, alright, this is a good chance to get a boost. And look at this play. She goes into Nidoking on my Charge Beam. She later told me that was a misclick. I was so salty that she somehow predicted that. But I like, wow, that's actually really good because poison and I'm a fairy. It was brilliant. But she switches back out, I guess, realizing that into Galvantula as I go for the confusion, not psychic. This is technician, although I believe even with the technician, psychic is still stronger. I don't know, but that actually did a huge portion of this Galvantula, who did not take this well, and we outspeed it and go for another confusion, getting us our very first kill in the Wi-Fi lock, which goes to Mr. Mime. I'm very, very proud of Mr. Mime. I never really thought this Mr. Mime would actually get a kill, because his moveset's really weird, but she brings in a Lucario, and I'm very scared of the bullet punch. I do not want to stay in. Mr. Mime gaming the fairy type really kind of messes with me sometime, and apparently that's one where I didn't switch out, but she actually goes for the Night Days, revealing that she's not actually Lucario. I actually don't know why I stayed in there. I'm very, very curious. Oh, I went for the confusion. I don't know why I went for the confusion there, but it didn't affect it, unfortunately. But as I switch into Scyther, predicting another Night Days, knowing I could take a well, she actually goes for the U-turn, which kind of sucks, because I thought I was getting Switch Initiative, and then all of a sudden she gets Switch Initiative, and all went downhill from there. But I know whatever she's going into can't be her Zoroark, so that's at least good news. But she brings in a Nidoking, and seeing that just asleep, I feel confident, because this is a wonderful chance to try setting up a Swords Dance and possibly sweeping with the Scyther, which would be really, really, really cool news. Except for the fact that it wakes up and it goes for the Sludge Wave. And all of a sudden my plans are being put on hold, until I absolutely take that with 69 HP and don't get poisoned and hit the Aerial Ace and absolutely destroy this Nidoking. Ladies and gentlemen, that's 1. Alright, we're gonna have to keep track here. She brings in her Kingdra thinking she might be able to do something about that, but guess what? My Scyther is 105 base speed, and a +2 Aerial Ace with Technician Boost brings us to 2. We all keeping track so far. Everybody remember what no more on so far? Alright, let's bring in the next Pokemon, being her Lucario, who I actually kind of predict to be Zoroark, but I didn't really want to risk it here, because Lucario is the only thing that could give me some issues. But I go for the Aerial Ace, it goes down to a critical hit, revealing it is in fact Zoroark, and bringing us, ladies and gentlemen, to number 3. Okay, we all keeping track so far? Good, I hope everybody's focused, because now she brings in her Leafeon, and that is just adorable, because literally both of my moves, Bug Bite and Aerial Ace, destroy Leafeon. But Leafeon is a pretty bulky Pokemon. She goes for to protect the Triss, try to stall it out for another turn. I'm not 100% sure why, but in the end, it shouldn't really make that much of a difference, right? As I go for the Bug Bite and the HP bar. I actually thought that thing was going to live at first. I really, really thought that thing might live at first, and my heart skipped a beat because I didn't know what I was going to do against Lucario. Speaking of Devil, we are now at number 4, guys, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not sure if an Aerial Ace can kill this thing, and I don't know if I can live a Bullet Punch. I'm very, very scared. I know we are Eviolite, but it's still a Lucario, and that's nothing to mess around with. But we do go for the Aerial Ace. Is it going to kill? 5. Brings us to 5. Lucario getting 5. Not Lucario, Scyther getting 5 kills in a single game in the very first game, pulling off basically our first sweep just off that one Swords Dance. Absolutely doing amazing, which earns us 3 tokens, because remember, tokens are earned by knocking out the opponent's Pokemon with a maximum of 3 tokens per battle. And those 3 tokens, we did redeem them, and we did get, waiting for it to show up here, we ended up getting a Crawdont joining our team, a Rhydon joining our team, and Blueberry the Gligar making his epic return from the original version of the Wi-Fi Lock joining our team. So I apologize, guys, that this is a really salty video. Just very frustrated with life, but I really want to show you guys that Scyther sweep, and it is also really late and people are trying to sleep, so I'm trying to talk quietly. So yeah, I will see you guys later today for another video that'll be uploaded in just a few hours. But if you did enjoy this and show any kind of sympathy for me, please feel free to show your support by clicking the like button down below, because it's very much appreciated. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace. I need a cookie.